everyone. We're Steph and Rachel, the creators of Wealth, Wisdom, and Wellbeing podcast. The spirit of this podcast is to share the conversations and curiosities that we have with a greater community in the hope that we can develop wealth, wisdom, and well-being for ourselves and those around us. Simply put, we're in the pursuit of financial freedom and opportunity, meaningful relationships and experiences, and an increased quality of life to be able to enjoy all of it. We just want to live our best lives and help you to do the same. Come with us on this journey. Let's have some laughs, learn from our communities, and get that bread.
Hey everyone, welcome back, Rach.
We're back. Break time's over.
It's over. Summer is done. We've got the fall feels coming and we are here for episode 15.
Crazy. Yeah, summer is done and dusted. Into fall we come, and I feel like fall is here. Like I can't say I'm super energized or like jazzed about the next season, but we're on our way. I am excited about this. I'm excited to see your pretty face and talk about the things. So that's bringing me a lot of joy today.
Ditto. I was really looking forward to it. I am so grateful we took the summer off. I hope all you listeners had a great summer. But yeah, we definitely are back and excited to dive into a pretty awesome topic. I'm sure many of you are wondering, little thing called how do I make money while I sleep? So if you're into that kind of thing, stay tuned because that's what we're talking about all today here on Wealth, Wisdom, and Wellbeing.
That's right. How do we make money in our sleep? If all of us were good at this or knew how, I don't think I definitely wouldn't have a job to go to tomorrow. I would just be living my best life, but here we are. So although we're not experts, we have some insights.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing here, right? Like this is a journey we're bringing you all along with us. We're, dabbled in a few things. We're curious about this too. And it is 2025. The world, as we've talked about in many of our other episodes, are different. It's not the same as it once was. So we want to expand our minds, open up, think outside of the box, the docs, whatever you want to call it, and let's just dive into something called passive income, Rach.
Let's do it. Steph, passive income to you, what does it mean?
So passive income to me is something that you've set up, whether it's like a product or some kind of an investment, some type of service that can be done to generate revenue, income, money, without your direct time attached to it. The key thing for me there is that direct word, direct time.
Right. I would go so far to say as passive income is not really that passive at the beginning. It is something you need to put some energy into so that you get to that point, right, where you are generating revenue without your direct time and energy. So I think we're bang on with our interpretations of the term. Yeah, but it's not, I do sense that on the socials of the world, it's glorified passive income. I must have clicked on something because all I get now is like the vending machines I can buy to put in different places across the city that will generate passive income. So definitely went down a rabbit hole there. But even that is not passive. You have to go and stock these bitches. So I feel like social's done a really interesting job of really glorifying passive income. Like, oh yeah, just buy this one vending machine and you too can be a millionaire. It's not quite how it works.
No, exactly. I think that's such an important Rach point, Rach, because like when we have that mentality that we have to set this up and it's gonna just like go and do its thing and we're gonna be making millions overnight, like we're setting ourselves up for some failure there.
Yeah.
So like that that false image, that false persona it's glorified. Like you said, I think you said it brilliantly.
Mhm.
So I guess for us, like when we think about this and we think about how we've been taught, you go get a job, that's how you earn your income. You go, you work your 9 to 5 or your, you know, whatever night shift job. And then that's how you create income. But we're thinking differently now. We're going against the grain a little bit. And what is this going to look like? How can we, yeah, how can we? I think that's a key question. How can we?
Mhm. Yeah, because unless you're very highly paid and your expenses are low, I don't know what that could be. Suppose I'm an anesthesiologist who lives in, a 3-bedroom bungalow in this city. Um, I don't even know how you would create that retirement account, kind of that cushion you need for your future, without that passive income. Again, if you're generating a lot, you can probably save a lot, but I think just to make it these days without having to work until you die, you need to be expanding your passive income. And it doesn't have to be that, oh, okay, I guess now I'm, buying 500 rentals and trying to survive on that. It can be small. You can start small.
Yeah,
Steph,
starting small.
there's a lot of, you were saying like what is and how. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of types of passive income. I just mentioned one, which would be properties.
Mm-hmm.
So generating rental income. For that, you
Mm-hmm.
obviously need some type of investment to secure your loan or your mortgage, whatever it is. And then also the time and energy it takes into finding renters. Have
Yeah.
you had a rental property before?
I personally have not yet. How
I
about
had
you?
one over COVID, and it had to have been one of the most stressful situations I have
Mm,
ever been in. So much so that we sold it because I was just like, well, I never want to do this again. So even for me with that passive income, it
mm-hmm.
wasn't worth my time, energy, and stress. Not saying that's the
Right.
case in all rental type situations, but even that for me, I was putting far more energy into it than I think the whatever I was getting in return. Sure.
What you said there that stood out to me, and maybe the listeners you picked up on this too, is that the energy that was required to put into it, you didn't feel like the energy exchange back for the monetary value was worth it,
Not at all.
right? And it right. So it's causing so much stress. So
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about in this episode to start out, what is passive income? We've talked about a myth about it, so that you just start, you launch this thing, you get your rental property and you're making millions overnight, and that false perception on social or just in like life.
Mm-hmm.
So that myth. And then when we come back to thinking about when you want to start a passive income, why?
Mm.
Even before we go into the how of it, I wonder how. Great. Keep the curiosity open. Even before that, what is your why?
Mm-hmm.
So many of you listeners, when we put up the polls, like, thank you for engaging with that, because it really helps drive the content we bring to you, right? And these real life needs that everyone has and is curious about. So you wanted to know how for passive income. So my question back to you, listeners, is why?
Mm-hmm.
What is your why? And Rach, I'm putting you in the hot seat
Yeah.
today here, but on episode 15, but what would that have afforded you, or not afforded even, but why? Why would you want to purchase multiple rentals? What's your why for that?
It's really building on your portfolio and on your wealth. So increasing your asset base,
For what reason though?
wealth.
Why? Why do you want that? Why do you want to increase your assets? Why do you want to increase everything for that?
Why
Is
not?
it
What are we doing here? Isn't it lifestyle, options, freedom,
okay?
right? Isn't
Okay.
it that?
Okay.
Isn't
So
that what we
what's your
want?
why if we get specific? Well, that's the interesting thing, because
Right.
is it what we want? I
I want
think it
to
depends who we
retire.
talk to. You want to retire. And
That's
what would
right.
you want to retire? And what in that retirement do you want?
Cash.
To do what?
To live, to pay my expenses, to afford my lifestyle, which will be hiking, golfing, eating out, traveling, right?
And who are you doing those things with?
My husband, hopefully.
Okay.
My current husband.
So, yes,
That's
yes.
right.
So for that lifestyle for you, so you can retire
Mhm.
and you can live a lifestyle where you can hike, golf, travel with your husband.
I see where you're going now, sensei. So I think too, I think for a lot of, and I'm going to come back to how this is being shown in social media. I think part of the glamorization is like, oh, I'm doing passive income. So today I'm traveling to Dubai, or I'm buying this Birkin, or I'm
Mm,
maybe traveling elsewhere, or, I'm riding my whatever fucking Mercedes SUV. That is not my why. My why is not generating passive income to then just spend it on
mhm,
shit, on
mm,
materials. Maybe it's not shit to you, it's shit to me. It's materials I don't need. So my
mhm,
why is creating that base that I need so that I will have money in the future. So it's really for
mm,
growth. My passive
mhm,
income is what I'm using to reinvest so that it actually generates more passive income, income on income. That would be my why.
mhm. So you can
Retire
spend time and retire.
and spend time
So
with the people I love. Yeah, and have options for sure.
and have the options. And that's where, and I don't mean to like keep prodding
No, I
to
love it.
be pushing or and try to put you too much on the spot per se, but because the importance of that, listeners, for you is you may also, because we all do that when our first answer, if we've never been asked this question of why,
Yeah.
and to get into the nitty gritty, it doesn't come second nature to us. So I am lingering on this point longer because it is the key.
Mm-hmm.
And when we know our why and we feel what that feeling, like just imagine, Rach, right now in your body, you're retired, you've got that growth that you've been desiring, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just, if you're watching or you're just listening right now, I'm just kind of putting my hand on my heart and just getting Rach to feel into her body. What does that feel like in your body, that why? And you're out, you're on the golf course with your husband, and you were able to retire with that growth from the passive income. Where do you feel that in your body?
Oh, it's kind of shoulders. It's relief.
Oh,
It's a lightning, truly, because that's, I feel like, what lingers for me day to day. True. I'm trying not to have it day to day, but lately it's felt day to day of, am I
that's the
doing
reality
enough?
for
Yeah.
many of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I doing enough to, because nothing is for certain, but to have that future that I want for me and my family. So to imagine myself on the golf course, 17th hole, getting ready to close up and maybe have lunch at the clubhouse, it's like just the ability to do that without debt. Um, and just the freedom to be like, well, I could do this again tomorrow if I wanted. Like that's,
Yeah.
yeah. It's definitely relief.
That's that relief. And you felt that in your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really powerful. That connecting to the body, listeners, especially if you're a woman, that is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been disconnected from that. So just wanted to drop that in there. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Rach, for sharing.
Well,
I think that was
now
a really valuable.
tables have turned though. So what is your
Oh,
why for
yes.
generating passive income?
Yeah. I have thought about this one, and the why really is connected to that freedom, that joy, and the connection that I desire
Mm-hmm.
in my day to day. And that looks like, for me, waking up on a Monday or a Tuesday and lingering in bed, knowing that there's nothing I have to rush up to, coming out, opening the blinds, feeling that sun coming through, looking out at the gorgeous view, and then having breakfast with my family,
Mhm.
having the space to just be in rhythm rather than rush, and to be able to connect and be present so
Mhm.
that I can go out and spend the time for me with my family is super important to, watch the milestones, to be there, to be in nature, to go for a walk on a random Tuesday in the
Mhm.
afternoon. And yeah, that is my why. And to
Mhm.
travel and have options, flexibility, and freedom in location, to be mobile so that I can experience and venture with our family.
Mhm. That's
Hmm.
lovely. So I
So
think
that's everyone's different that way, right? Like that's
mhm.
where there's no right or wrong answer here, but there is a specific why. And when
Mhm.
we just say to retire, or we just say to have money in the bank, or we just say to, a blanket statement, we need to dig deeper.
Mhm. No, I'm glad you lingered on that, and I think it's important for the listeners to reflect for themselves on what their why might be, especially if you're interested in generating more passive income, which we hope you are. Really tap into what your why is, because then I also think that helps for you to make decisions about how you want to move forward on any of what we're about to talk about. It should instill hopefully a sense of confidence and some ambition, maybe some drive to access this for yourself. I mean, that's what it's doing for me. And Steph and I talk about this shit all the time. So even just being able to tap in kind of to that picture and that feeling of where I want to be, makes this feel more tangible, truly.
Mm. Hmm. And there's not just one recipe to get where you want to go. So once you know
Oh
the
gosh.
why, we can dive into these are just ideas. Because for myself, many of these I have not done personally.
Mhm.
There's been a few I've dabbled in and, some that I currently have like
Mhm.
available, but it is not something that, I'm still learning about a lot of these too. And I can share a little about what I've learned so far. But let's dive into the couple of ideas to get your juices flowing. So we're shifting gears here and
Yeah.
we're going to go into where are these passive income streams? What can they look like? Do you want to touch on the first one, Rach?
Yeah, so investments. So I think Steph and I both kind of locked in on this one. Um we both have investments that are generating passive income right now. Well, maybe not right now. It's Sunday, markets are closed, but the portfolios grow. So tomorrow when we wake up, here, you're somewhere else, depending on the time. When I wake up, the market will already have been open for 2 hours. I'm already generating income, hopefully, if market's up. So that is passive income. That can be stocks, it can be dividends, ETFs, um, mutual funds, GICs. There's a whole slew of them. There's lots of financial
Mhm.
instruments that can generate passive income. With these ones, there's some risk, of course, unless it's a bond, but there is risk. So there is chance that whatever you're into, whatever your stock is or your ETF, it could drop slightly. So you might lose money, but overall, historically, they have increased. So, if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to put some money in here, I'm hoping to tap into whatever this instrument is in 20 years, the likelihood of it not having grown at all is very low. So you will be generating passive income from that.
Yeah, and if we're not here in the immediate passive income, like that's more of long-term thinking and that type of thing. And so with investments, there are some specific types like REITs, so that real estate investment. There are some different private equity where you could help fund different ventures that people are doing, specifically to real estate, specifically to other, maybe it's an app startup
Tech.
like
Yeah.
that Blossom one we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, specific ones don't pay out on a monthly basis per se. So you've got to know what your avenue is, right? But there are options that do pay out on monthly, even dividend paying stocks. They have a set schedule that if you didn't want to reinvest your dividends, your payouts, you could get those as cash. That's passive income.
That's right.
So the other one that I wanted to highlight just around this investing is it's all these bundled in, but you're automated. So you've got that monthly amount that might be going into that dividend stock, that all-in-one ETF, whatever you've chosen, but it's automated. So you are investing in yourself. And as a result, with the market, as Rach said, you're getting that passive income through compound interest. The accessibility of it, and that's where your why is important. Because if your why is more now, some of these routes for passive income are not going to be the best fit for you.
That's right.
Yeah. So that brings us to the second, these more creative, non-investment passive incomes. Okay. So there is a whole slew. What are you interested in? What are you good at that you have a skill set in? You can make a product. You can make any type of course, and you can start marketing it and make passive income that way. You can, what else, Rach? Digital products we've got here. So templates, ebooks, a printable. Let's say you're super into fitness and you know a lot about a certain type of program with perimenopause. And you have a slew of knowledge. Maybe you're in the industry already. Maybe you've just been through a personal experience and you have a slew of knowledge. You can put together a little ebook or pamphlet about that. So that's some other types of things to rack your brain about. Write down, get out your pen and paper and write down, what am I good at? Some of these things you might not even think it's like, you might assume that everyone has this, but these skills, these talents, but that's not the case. And if you really want to go deeper and you've got some really great friends around you, which I hope you do, you go and you ask the friends who are going to tell you, you know, they're honest, straight up and trustworthy. What do you see in me for skills? And my top 3, and see what they say.
Even
That's kind of
think
fun too.
about what they come to you with, their questions, right? Because that will also kind of highlight to you, not your worth, but it's like what they know you know, or what they're confident in that you can share that and they value your opinion on, or whatever it might be. So if someone's coming to you to look at their website to say like, hey, does this work? Does this flow? Then maybe that's what that would be amazing. Like a little quick how to, I say quick and little, but we know these things take time to put together and create, especially if you're going to do a good job. But you can even reflect in that way. What are people asking you about?
I love that, Rach, like that. Another way, you've made a bunch of products. Let's say you're into making jewelry or you're a painter. Yeah. And you've decided, I'm going to go into a few different markets or small shops in my local area here. And I'm going to see if they'll post up, you know, have a little shelf or bookshelf where you can put your products in. Maybe you make teas or, you know, candles, whatever it is. You create something. Where can you go and start that conversation? Sometimes they want you to pay to have it in there. Other times not. They just want to bring in new things for their customers visiting the shop. But that would be passive income because you've done the work one time. It's complete. And now it's going, you don't have to be there. Buy this, buy this. You don't have to be at the shop. It's just in the shop.
That's right. That's a good one.
Yeah. And one of the other ones, this is one I could speak to directly to in the creative side of things. It's not investment related is, well, let's say you have a business, right? Any kind of business. Let's say you're in the service industry and you open up like a fitness service that's mobile and goes to people's homes to train. And you're the one that's done all the training, but then you bring on contractors or you bring on employees. That's a type of passive income. Your business is generating more revenue that's not directly related to your time where you have to go see each one of those clients.
Yeah.
For the listeners to practically implement on how to get started as a beginner with passive income. So step 1 is this shift in mindset. We're seeing this money as seeds you can plant. So like Rach said, you are doing the work up front, but you're planting these seeds by talking to that shop owner, by talking to someone to come onto your team to do some contract work, by putting up on a website or your social media that you have a product for sale.
Mm-hmm.
And then just start with one path that feels the best to you, that interests and excites you the most. Follow your excitement and go there first, right? Because that's what's going to make it sustainable. Whenever we do something just because of money, that it's not sustainable.
No.
It won't be. It won't fill your bucket. So what excites you, what brings you joy, especially you're doing it probably in addition to whatever else you're doing in your day-to-day right now, that is so key. And just start with small amounts. You don't have to make 100 of something. Start with 10, 5. It doesn't have to be a lot, right? Start in your social circle if you want. Often, unfortunately, strangers are actually more supportive than there's a psychological piece around that than our family and friends when we start something. But wherever you want to start, right? And if you're investing in doing passive income, start small. It'll grow gradually. If it's not working, that's fine. You can pivot, but you need to take time, explore these avenues. So that's step 3. Commit. Small time, small money, grow gradually. Keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple. And step 4, continue to learn. There's podcasts, there's books, there's articles, there's unlimited. Your world is, it's at your fingertips, all of this information. With all these AI tools, definitely double check your research, but the information they're giving, do your research, I should say. But man, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you need a mindset shift, we've talked about it before, that is a way to start thinking differently, where you're not trading just time for money. He talks very clearly about how passive income works. Yeah, that's a really good starting
Great
point.
resource. Yeah. Yeah, those are fantastic. Simple to do, not overwhelming. So hopefully the listeners, if you're on the brink, you're teetering on an idea, this is your flag to say let's fucking go. So get started. Yeah.
Your permission slip. If you won't give permission to yourself, we'll give it for you, to you.
Yeah.
Take that first step. It's not about doing everything right. You're not going to. So just get that out of your head. Anyone who looks like they got it right has messed up, fucked up thousands of times. Yeah? So.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's opening up your mind. What are some new ways that you can get money working for you rather than the traditional, I go to work, I'm there, I make money. What are ways we can, and they'll come to you.
That's awesome. I hope if you're listening, if you've started something, let us know. Reach out, DM us on Instagram, send us a message. Just let us know, hey, not that we're gonna take your idea, but we want to know. You don't even have to share it with us. Just tell us you've started. I would love that.
Yes. Yeah. I've started. I love that. That's great. Yes. Drop that in there. Thanks so much, everyone. We wanted to keep this short and sweet for you. If you liked the content, you liked anything about this, give us a comment, like the episode, and share it with a friend that you think it'd be helpful for. Yeah. All the love. Thank you so much. See you soon, Rach.
Bye.
Bye. This podcast is designed to provide listeners and viewers with a general overview of how to start investing and growing wealth, provide value to our communities, and live a life of wellness. It is not designed to be a definitive investment guide or life guide to take the place of a qualified financial planner or other professionals. Given the risk involved in investing of almost any kind, there is no guarantee that the investment method suggested in your personal or financial life will be profitable. We do not assume liability of any kind for any losses that may be sustained as a result of applying the methods suggested in this podcast, and any such liability is hereby expressly disclaimed.